George Washington in Stony Point. This was written at 2 a.m. in the morning. It says, "Dear General, the fort and the garrison of Colonel Johnstone are ours. Your officers and men behaved like men who are determined to be free." I read that, and that phrase has stuck with me for the last few days. Behave like men determined to be free. What does that even mean? Tonight I want to show you the possibilities that lie before us. And no matter what anybody tells you, know this: you will choose. It is up to you. To paraphrase Dietrich Bonhoeffer, not to vote is to vote. Life or death, light or darkness, success or failure, joy or sorrow. It's your choice every single day. It's why we were put here on earth. It's why man even roams the earth to choose. Which will you be? Hero or villain? Truth or corruption? Virtue or greed? That's our choice. I'm starting a new venture in my life, a new path, and I'm so excited in the next year or so to share it with you. Down in Texas, we're going to start something new called the American Dream Labs. It's a place that is going to try to teach Americans how to think out of the box again and start to reach for the moon and the stars again, to dream again. But it's a place where dreamers just won't dream, but dreamers do. Because that is important. There are two kinds of people. And these are the two things that created our country: dreamers and doers. The people in this category are absolutely no use without this category, and vice versa. There is no example of any country of just dreamers. There isn't any example that I could come up with of a company of just dreamers, because dreamers only sit around and dream. They don't actually do anything. They never get off the ground. The only example I could come up with is, I think our universities are the only useless wastes of skin that sit around and dream and don't actually do anything. Politically, that's the problem with think tanks. Lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, but what America needs now is a do tank. That's why I appreciate Freedom Work so much, because you're doing it. But a group of people that don't have any dreams at all, who are just doers, that's China. That's the old Soviet Union. That's a progressive utopia. Do what you're told. Drive what you're told. Put your thermostat exactly where you're told it needs to be. Don't educate, indoctrinate. Because if you're educated, you can dream. If you're not educated, well, you can't dream because you don't know what has been. You don't know what is, and therefore, how could you possibly imagine what could be? And politicians on both sides of the aisle want you right there. They want you in a place where they can tell you, I can make a better choice than you can. But if we're going to survive, that has got to stop. Because progress has never been made by a group of America is. This is the way it's always worked. It's always been just an individual with a better idea. That's how we do it. Someone with a better plan or a better mousetrap. Tonight I want to talk to you about a plan to move forward, past all of the partisan bickering, past all of the division, the anger, and let's move forward. It's the change that I believe almost every single American was looking for when they talked about hope and change. A change from the Washington power structure to put our hope back into our own towns and our own communities and our own homes and in ourselves and in our neighbors. That's what we meant. That's what gives us real hope. Knowing the people who live next door, we'll make it together. But to be able to fix this huge problem, this big picture, we have to start small, with you and with me. We, the people. But it's never been, we the people is not this utopian we the people. It's not just a collection of us. It's what each of us as individuals dream and do. But make sure that your dream is a dream and not a nightmare. And that's where we've gone wrong. We became a society that started to think about fame and fortune. And when enough of us start to think that that's what the American dream is, that's what we become. And it becomes a nightmare. If we believe that character doesn't matter, if we believe it, we become that. Adam Smith talked about it as the invisible hand of the market. It's what all of us do in our own lives that moves things along, the invisible hand of capitalism. But what everybody forgets is it's not invisible. It's right here. It's right there and right there and right there. That's the invisible hand. Each of us are not the hand. Each of us are a finger. And what each of us does makes a difference. And this would be so clearly understood if people read more than just Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, but the book that he wrote before it, called The Theory of Moral Sentiments. He said, in a nutshell, there will be no wealth of nations if you're not a moral people first. No one teaches that anymore. Nobody teaches it anymore. In fact, what's worse is we're teaching the exact opposite. We're teaching people, who are you to judge? And that's what has us frustrated, I think. Because you look and you know the difference between right and wrong, good and bad. It's not that hard, especially now. It amazes me how many people can't see the difference. And you judge. That's good, that's bad. That's wrong, that's right. That's good, that's evil. And then the system disagrees. And when it disagrees enough times, they shout you back into the corner. And so many people do exactly what we did before September 11th. We let the experts take care of it. And we go back into our little world, the world that they tell us you can affect that. You have control of that. You can understand that. And we live there until the insanity creeps into our little world. And then they want more. See, before Obama even was a candidate, most of us here started this journey. It began for most of us after 9/11, when we started to question the things that we didn't understand. And then we got to a point where we questioned those things we feared we did understand. And then that led us to a place where we didn't even know if we wanted to question anything anymore. Learning the things not just about Washington, but also the Democrats and the Republicans, and then our history. And then that eventually led to the questions about ourselves and the roles that we played. And quite honestly, I think a lot of Americans are tired. And maybe it's just more than what they bargained for, more than what they thought they could do, more than they ever wanted to do. I don't know about you, but I don't even remember what I used to fill the hours of my day with before September 11th. Do you? There are times, quite honestly, that I'd like to go sit my big fat butt down and watch Survivor. Or whatever it is on TV anymore. I don't even know what's on TV anymore. I'm so busy. But I'd like to find out. I'd like to find out, just pitch it all. But I know from experience that's the wrong thing to do. because I have been there in my own life before. Big picture, small picture. It begins with us in our own life. As many of you know, I'm an alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I used to drink a gallon of Jack Daniels every single week, mainly to escape. And to escape not just from the things that I had done in my life, but more importantly, many of the things that I hadn't done in my life. Until I couldn't do it anymore because nothing made sense. And so I stopped drinking. And I started my path of questioning, how did I get here? And after 2 years of that questioning, I didn't think I could go on anymore. And I started feeling sorry for myself. And I was down on this shag green carpeting in my own apartment that I could barely afford of $695 a month. It was like the United Nations building. Everybody spoke any other language but English except me. And I lay down on that floor, and I was without my kids on Christmas Eve. And I had a choice. Check out or get up. And I'd like to tell you that it was a sky-opening moment where all of a sudden, like the angels were there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get up, and it's all fixed. But it wasn't. I just chose to get up. And then I went to bed. And the next morning, I opened my eyes, and I had to choose again. Check out or get up for 5 years. Check out or get up. And the issues were so huge, so large, that I didn't think that I could even begin to understand them or unravel them. And I was tired. What I had created for myself was not an American dream. I had created an American nightmare.
Oh, yeah. She lie on my couch, feeding my child. Warm in my house, tired. Oh, I'm tired too. If I still slept here, I'd dream of some changing. Wake up a good Christian man, but I fell off the wagon. My heart broke my body, and I've just been so thirsty since then. For what it's worth, man, it still hurts. You can't dry the words of a drunken lie, no. So I drink the truth every Sunday morning, but it just turns my water into wine. Oh, yeah. The future looks bleak, yeah. Just as bruised as my knees now. Oh, I beg and I plead. Oh, but woman, I'm so tired. If I still slept here, I'd dream of some change. Wake up a good Christian man, but I fell off the way. My heart broke my body, and I've just been so thirsty since then. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. No, 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 no. Turn water, turn. I still slept here, I dream of some change. Then I wake up beside